Hola, hola.
How are you?
Hunky dory, how about yourself?
Not too shabby. Got a nice beer.
You got an interesting idea of fun.
Got a nice flavor vape going. It's good stuff.
Well, I am cheap whiskey and coke tonight.
Ooh. I got a bottle of Jameson that I just can't finish. I don't know. I just can't stand Jameson. Ugh.
Yeah, I drink a knockoff of Crown.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. I don't know. I like like the most of the taste of Jameson, but the whole tasting like pencil erasers, doesn't do it for me.
Well, I had Crown. It was some sort of molasses or something like that. The first shot
Mm.
was like real good. Then after that, it was like, God, this is horrible. This is too much sweet.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like Bud Light Lime. First one I had was like, perfect. I put a lime in my beer almost all. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Drink a 6-pack of that stuff. It's like, ugh.
Oh yeah. That artificial lime flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My video had better music.
Right.
Harold Death March to a ukulele. That was new.
Yeah. Yeah.
This ship's got bigger guns than the Falcon does.
The one that you linked?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Or at
yeah,
least I.
that's like the newer model I think of the Falcon.
Oh, really?
The 2400, yeah. So it's like an upgrade to that one.
So the Falcon's like old.
Yeah, yeah. Um their number sequence I think is relative to the model year kind of. So there's like a YT 900 that is smaller than the Falcon, but relatively the same.
Yeah, I'm looking at the YT 1000.
Yep.
It's
Oh, yeah,
interesting how it's
you
got the pilot right up front, whereas
mhm.
the Falcon, it tunnels out to the right.
Ryan's in roll 20. Can you
Oh,
go
I guess I need to
to
get in there.
well, it says that you're in.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Can you go to the cogwheel and the settings and go down to your I think there's a broadcast thing.
Oh, to talk
Vid-
on roll 20?
yeah, no, we're gonna turn that off.
Oh, I'm on it.
No, keep that on. But if you go to you can say I want to broadcast to others under settings.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Ryan. So if you go to the cogwheel and then you go down to the bottom, it'll say I want to broadcast. Just say nothing on that. Otherwise, it's going to go through Skype and the Roll20.
Got it. I see it.
Because on mine, I say receive nothing just to help bandwidth of the game, so it's not trying to process that data.
Got it.
I don't know how you do it, Ryan. Coming up with combats and shit.
It's a process for sure.
I usually don't even think about the game until like Monday. So I'm like, like actually the last 2 weeks I did all my stuff over lunch today. I did that last week too. I was like, oh, I've got an hour to come up with a few things. I think the worst part is like I'm still reeling from Sunday, so it's like I'm thinking about my character on Sunday, and then it's like, oh shit, I gotta come up with something for Tuesday.
Yeah, it used to be my only days off were like Monday and Tuesday, so it'd be like right after the game, I'd have to consider what's happening the next week.
Oh yeah, I get no days off with the little one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Ryan, you under the weather? Your voice sounds weird.
Yep, still haven't got my voice back.
Oh no.
It'll make your creepy voice easier.
Right?
Or worse.
But it'll make it real awkward if I got to do like the Queen's voice or something like that.
She finally hit puberty.
Hello, heroes.
Why does my Skype do that? My Skype, every time I start the call, it like turns my screen gray and won't let me click on anything, and I'm stuck with just the little mini Skype screen to use. It's like, share your screen. It's like, you can't click on any buttons.
Don't share your screen. That's terrible.
I'm not trying to. It won't let me click on anything.
You clicking the wrong button when you accept the call?
I just hit the little green button. That's all. It's the green button. Couldn't change the
That's a
button.
green button.
That's a green button.
What do I need to change on my settings? It shows some sort of blue bar above my name. Like it's picking up audio.
I think that's because you're still broadcasting audio and video.
When mine did that, I had to restart Roll20 for it to accept that I changed it on Roll20.
Oh yeah, you might need to refresh the game page.
See how moody you are. You've been a little handful today, huh?
Man, don't talk to Ted like that.
I know how he's been, okay? We don't need none of that. I know. I just got.
Pew pew.
Oh, yeah, I got it in the background. Sorry.
That's all good. I'm surprised that's not going through your... Are you wearing headphones or are you just going off speakers?
Headphones.
I'm surprised it's not playing through your headphones.
I can't hear myself talk. No.
No, I mean your like video audio that you were listening to.
Oh. No, that's on my Xbox.
Ah. Makes sense.
On Nerd. Xbox One, PS4. Got my tablet up. Got my phone for Skype. Got the laptop in front of me.
Jeez.
Yeah, I overdo it.
He's got all the gadgets.
Yeah, if it turns on and I have to unwrap it, I try to buy it. That's why I'm broke. That and good old child support. Yay!
Ew.
Let's see.
Character sheets updated, changed, or something.
What?
Character sheets are different.
I didn't do it.
You got this fancy background now.
Oh,
Around it.
Lucas, remember how we were just talking about the being able to just hover over something on D&D Beyond, and it gives you a little pop-up of what the effects are?
Did they update the sheet?
Yep.
Oh.
Like now hovering over my spells,
How?
it tells me what
How
it does.
did they get a whole... That is brilliant.
Now they have competition is what that is.
Whoever's doing this sheet is ahead of the game.
Right?
I would not be surprised if it's the same person that's working
Right?
at
Getting paid for both.
first. That is cool. Yeah, so D&D Beyond is supposed to be like that. I can't wait. Their like spell system right now is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
I just wish I could open it up on my iPad without it taking 8 years to load.
Oh, just to let you know, until I can get it loaded up on my sheet, I picked the what's it called? The thing something for my elemental. Where's it at? It said I had to pick one at third. Fangs of the Fire Snake.
Sweet.
So I can use a key point, and when I strike, I deal 1d10. Is it 1d10? Where's it at? Yeah, 1d10 of fire damage when I hit.
And your reach increases by 10 feet. That's awesome.
So after
So it looks like you can spend 1 key point to increase the range of your unarmed strikes. And on a hit, you can spend another key point to deal an extra 1d10 fire damage.
Yeah, so that's a 2 key point attack if you want to take advantage of the fire damage.
it says, let me double check. It says 1 key point. It says when you use the attack on your turn, you can spend 1 key point to cause tendrils of flame to stretch out from your fists and feet.
And that increases the reach of your unarmed strikes by 10 feet. So you got a 10 feet or a 15-foot reach for your unarmed strikes.
All right, and if you keep reading, it says
And
a hit with such an attack deals fire damage instead of bludgeoning. But if you want to do an additional 10 points of fire damage, you can spend another key point, or 1d10.
Oh, gotcha.
So you get a
point
flame
next
punch,
reach.
and yeah, so you can do 10 feet with a punch, and that lasts for all of your things. So once you get up to, I think you can do that right now, right? Flurry of blows, yeah. So if you wanted to, you could spend 2 key points and have a 10-foot reach with 3 attacks, 3 punches.
If I use 2 key points, do all 3 attacks get fire damage?
I don't know about that one. I don't know if it's 1 key point per attack to do the fire damage, but I know the 1 key point is for the rest of your. As well as the rest of your turn. No, so you would have to spend a key point per attack to do the additional. So if you did 3 attacks, you'd have to spend 3 more key points to do the extra damage per attack.
That makes sense, because if you could have all 3 doing, 1d10, that'd be like overpower.
Yeah, for one resource spend. Yeah, so you'd have to do.
Because you could literally deal 30 plus.
Yeah. Well, essentially, I mean, what's your unarmed right now? A D4. Yeah. So that could be upwards of 60 damage. So
You don't mess with monk, man.
Recharged every short rest.
recharge every short rest. No, monks are pretty baller.
Yeah, so that one episode with Mercer Ray where she was in the doorway just blocking punches and grabbing arrows. I'm like, that's freaking badass.
Yeah, it is. But they have a tendency to be like glass cannons. They blow their load really quick, and then essentially they have nothing after that. So the resource management is key. So, I mean, because you only get one key point per level, and say, like, you want to just go all out on one attack, it's going to cost you 2 key points to get Flurry of Blows and the extended range. And then you could add fire damage to one of those, and then you're added key points for till you get a short rest. At level 3. So it's like, you can make one attack really great.
Probably have to be a defensive, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, alright, so what is my attack range with that bow staff? Or electro staff?
5 feet.
So it'd still only be 15. Alright. Or
15
would that
what?
make it? But
Your unarmed strikes
uh,
get increased.
Yeah.
oh, so not armed.
So
Okay.
the path you have chosen is all based around using your fists, not your weapons.
Well, I mean, I'd use the weapon as when I spent my load.
Yeah, but like I should say the enhancements are all to your fist or knee strikes or whatever.
Hey, my attunement to elements, does that cost a key?
Don't think so.
I wouldn't think so. It's more like a cantrip where I can just...
Yeah, I think those are cantrip type things.
Yeah.
Double check that. I have not done a lot of monk things.
Is a cantrip a bonus action?
No, it's generally an action. Let's see. Elemental attunement. Where is that?
Because I was literally going to make the ground shake every time I walked.
You can still do that. You just won't be swinging.
Like, alright, I look small, but I'm heavy.
You can use your action. Yeah, it doesn't say that it costs a point to use it, so you can use... But that means you're not attacking. So...
I'm gonna have fun with it. Can we say, not a whole lot of fire is in Star Wars, but electrical lights, can we count that as like fire? Considering it's like a combustion, you know.
Yeah, I'd give you...
glowing.
I'd give you, like, you punch out one light bulb.
Well, it says you can snuff, like a candle or a campfire.
Yep.
So if there are like lights in the room, I can turn them off.
You can get one. So if there's a string of like lights down a hallway, you can get one every 6 seconds. So you'd have to essentially like walk, punch, punch, punch.
But if we're not in combat,
If you're not in combat, then yes, you could turn off the lights.
The creepy hallway in the hospital.
Yeah, where the
horror
lights keep
show,
going
you know,
out.
slowly just
Yes.
They flicker.
be great.
Make the ground shake and lights start going off, and I'm walking forward like, oh, it's coming.
I would say you get advantage on intimidation check on that one. I'd be terrified.
Cell had stolen those light bulbs to begin with.
Well, it's a
So
gentle rumbling of stones. So,
Hey,
but yeah,
anything's
yes,
rough.
you can.
If you're like in California, like, oh shit, what's happening?
Oh, come on, man! I lived in California.
I guess y'all are probably numb to it. That way I don't panic every time they say tornado warning. Like, okay,
Yeah.
where?
Yeah.
Oh, that again.
I mean, oh my gosh, I was. So I'm on the East Coast now, and we had an earthquake. I don't know, like 2 or 3 years ago. Oh, everyone was freaking out. They were like, "Oh, get under the desk, get under the thing, and oh, hide, and oh my God, what's going on?" And I was sitting there, I was still at my desk and just working. And I was like, "Guys, it's just an earthquake. It's." I mean, I lived. Yeah, when I lived in California, we lived near an Air Force base that used to shoot the satellite rockets up, the
Oh,
big
yeah.
like Titan 4 rockets or the Titan 5 rockets.
Yeah.
We only lived like 15, 20 minutes away from that base. So those were putting off like a 5.0 earthquake in the neighborhood when they went off.
No way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they shook all the houses. It was great. But it was like, it was like, whatever. Okay, they're shooting another rocket off. Okay.
It's like
There goes
snow in
another thing.
Texas. When it snows in Texas, everyone forgets how to drive, and everyone's calling into work when there's like less than a centimeter of snow.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Ryan in Chicago, and he's like, "The lake's frozen."
That's like rain in California. If you get rain,
Yeah.
shit closes down.
People lose their minds.
Yeah. But
Yeah, we get snow flurries. The supermarket's empty of
Yeah,
milk,
Bread
bread,
and
and everything else.
eggs.
crazy.
Oh man, yeah. The one earthquakes that are really scary though are the ones that are rolling earthquakes, where they don't rattle.
Keeps going.
Well, I had I was in middle school and I was brushing my teeth, and I felt like I was completely drunk. Like the room was doing this, and I could actually see the mirror like wobbling, and the whole house was
Oh, wow.
shifting. That was the scariest. My mom was all freaking out. She's like, "Get in the doorway." And I'm like, "I'm in the bathroom. I'm safer than being in the kitchen where she was with all the glass." I was like, "I'm safe. There's nothing that's going to fall on me in this
never
bathroom."
brushed his teeth again.
Yeah. But that was the freakiest one, because I was sitting there brushing my teeth and I started wobbling. I was like, "What the fuck?" My mom's like, "It's an earthquake." I'm fine.
I don't think I've ever experienced an earthquake, so there's that. I'd probably freak out.
It's not
Like,
that
slept
bad.
with a few.
It's not that bad. Have you ever lived near, like, close to a train?
No.
Well, you're missing out.
Yeah, missing out. Oh, the damn train.
I've got a train like 200 feet from a train track, 200 feet from my house.
When I visited Ryan, there was a train close to his house.
Yeah. Like less than 100 feet. But on the other side, from where this window is. Luckily.
If they come screaming through there, you get basically an earthquake feeling. It's just rattling. That's all it is.
You have to turn the volume on the TV up. It's really
Right?
convenient.
It's fucking trains. Do the trains in your area blow off their sirens as they're going through?
Usually no.
Yeah, we got the freaking cargo trains that come through here.
Oh.
My son is deathly afraid of the trains now, because they'll wake him up in the middle of the night and he's like, "Oh, the trains are trying to get me," because they're like,
The trains are coming. The trains
Yeah.
are coming.
They still do it at night? Like they don't stop blowing it after sundown or anything like that?
no. It
Gosh,
seems like that's when
terrible.
they start blowing the horns.
Come on, guys.
It's like, I mean, when I first moved into the house, you guys could hear it because I was in my son's room,
Yeah.
and it was like 8:30. We're coming through, bitches. You know, like, fucking assholes.
Yeah, here in Chicago, even like the police and firefighter sirens and stuff go quiet after dark. They're like, "No, we don't want to be a bother."
No, we don't really have noise ordinances out here. Like the truckers are allowed to use their Jake brakes
Yeah.
for coming down. You know, when I was in California, that is illegal.
Yeah.
Noise
That's how it
ordinances.
was
Not
in
here.
Arizona.
Bunch of good old boys with their loud trucks and yeah,
Kids these days.
kids these days. It's not even the kids. The kids at least
Yeah.
have respect.
Kids those days.
Kids those days. Daggum adults that have nothing better to do than drive their trucks around.
Yeah, that's what they call rednecks with paychecks.
There's a lot of them out here. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk David into getting cherry bombs for the new truck y'all got.
Cherry bombs?
Yeah, like glass packs, makes the exhaust loud.
Oh. We'll see. I don't even know. I'm just happy he got it running. I'm like, awesome. We got a new car now.
If you can spend $300 on paint, he can make his exhaust louder.
I don't even care if he repaints it. I kind of like the old paint job. It's like
Now he's
old
talking
farm
about your
stuff
little
or
side
something.
trips
Yeah.
in the house.
Your projects.
You tell my projects. You know, my projects are free.
Free with a budget.
From a certain
It's like-
point of view.
We went to get the cat neutered today, and it ended up costing $60 when I said it would cost 10. Who knew?
Yeah,
You'd be fired if you were in my line of business.
I used to work at a bank. That's the worst part. Like, I should be better with money, but apparently not.
because it was everybody else's money.
Well, didn't you have a machine do it all for you though?
They did the math for me. But I did misplace $10,000 once, so that was fun.
Oh my god.
Is that why you don't work at a bank anymore?
The best part was the customer was like, you know what? I knew you girls had it handled. I wasn't even worried. I'm like, if I lost $10,000, I'd be shitting my pants. But you're cool with it. I hate you because you're rich. Must be nice.
10 grand, just let me
Everyone
know when you
loved
find
me,
it.
so it was okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll show up somewhere.
Yeah. He's like, I was away on a camping trip this weekend, so I really didn't want to bug you guys. And it was like, $10,000 isn't worth a phone call? That's cool. That's
Right.
nice. But that was because I thought I had everyone's, which I did have like 10 different people's account number memorized. I just happened to get that one mixed up with a bank account. Like one of the bank's account. So it was like, it didn't go into like a random stranger's account. It just went to one of the bank's accounts. So it was like, saved my ass.
And you didn't even gift us a random $10,000 deposit. Thanks a lot, Amanda.
I know, if only, right? That'd be great.
Thought we were friends.
Hi, Booter. Where'd you come from?
Shoot, I'd be like running to the bank. I need to close my account. Please, now, hurry.
I need a withdraw. Please, yes, goodbye. You'll never see me again. Moving all of a sudden, cancer. So,
Going to the moon.
Why are you leaving us today? Please just withdraw right now.
I-
Right now.
I heard
I would've
Elon
been
Musk
so
is sending
fired.
people to Mars. I gotta sign up.
Yeah, he said that the first group of people probably will die, and
Yep.
they are still signing up.
Oh yeah, people are
Wow.
all over that shit.
Like, my life, whatever.
I'll wait till they say that the next group of people are going to live. Then I'll sign up.
If they put an In-N-Out burger on Mars, I'll sign up.
I
Just
can't
saying.
argue there.
Sounds cool, but no. I'll just go fishing.
What if you could go fishing on Mars?
Martian
Now, if I can
fish.
catch a Martian bash, oh yeah.
It looks like that fish from Simpsons with the 3 eyes.
Pretty eyes.
Next to the power plant.
That's why we couldn't see you. Toxic waste.
God dang it. My cat is such an asshole. He'll like come like right within and like literally just be like right out of arm's reach so you can't touch him, and he'll just stare at you like, I know you can't reach me. And it's not fair. He's an ass.
It's like, I bet I'm soft to pet. Wouldn't you like to try?
Yeah, right? Eh.
Yeah, I'm
Does
looking at
anybody
the map.
remember-
Where's the engine room?
It's
Engine
where
room is where
Skatos is.
Pathos.
Okay.
Yeah. Does anybody
Sure.
remember what we did last week? Because I don't.
We had fun gambling this
drug.
week.
We scanned the moon and found 5 varieties of the space drug spice.
That's right.
Yes, we have 2 of them, the blue one and the violet one. But aqua and I haven't
Aqua and
written down.
Violet.
Aqua
Yeah,
and Violet.
I got that one written down.
Yeah, aqua and violet. And I skimmed some off the top. And now we're in the Vegas planet. And I have fake dice. And we found the where'd the tabs go on the character sheet?
They're not there.
Hey.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Wait.
you might want to check your spells and things, guys, just in case.
Wait, so like there's no more tab, it's all just one sheet now?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know where the inventory is.
That's what I was just about to go to my inventory. Because that's where
it's under equipment. It's underneath your spell
Oh,
slots
in the
and
middle.
underneath your attacks. Yeah.
I don't like this. I like tabs. I'm so organized with tabs.
I wonder if there's a way that you can put tabs back in.
I'm so organized when I have tabs. Without tabs, I'm lost.
I think they did it to shrink down the character sheets.
Yeah.
There's not so much data and everything.
Yeah, because they're basically doing all the math in 2 different places.
Yeah. But that throws up. It's okay. I'll adapt. I'll adapt. I'm just not there yet.
I just wish it was easier to input things like it was in the previous version of the sheet.
Yeah.
But no, it's all the same. There's just not a tab for it.
It's just not a tab. I'm a tab person now, but okay. It's okay.
Well, you have a tab for spells, but you don't use
I have
spells.
spells. I'm
Holy
broke
shit.
now. I wonder if I changed it for the other game too. Probably.
We're using the same sheet, so I would assume so.
I have spells on that
Shit. I want to see how much this wrecks my druid now.
I was going
Yeah.
to give a
Not just the
nickname
druids,
to Cell.
all your beast shapes too.
Well, they don't. I mean, they just had attacks, so.
Yeah.
You said you were gonna give Cell a nickname.
Yeah, you need to change your name. Cell, a.k.a. Trainwreck.
Trainwreck. Hey now. She knows exactly what she's doing. Just because you guys aren't used to it.
Now, I'm going to be like, Trainwreck, come to the pilot's room. Trainwreck.
I don't know
If we find a space train, I'm sure she would take that name because she'd be all over taking the wreck.
I would be all over a train wreck, honestly. Like, Cell would be in heaven. She's gonna have to like steal one of these rooms just for her junk. She's like a hoarder. So
All those catwalks are going to start filling up with.
what's this room for?
Which room?
This one.
That is the galley. Kitchen.
That is. Oh, it's a kitchen. I guess we need a kitchen.
Yeah, when it comes to important for her to get in the catwalks, well, that's difficult terrain now. You got it pack of crap.
I could honestly see Cell hoarding everything in the escape pod.
Ooh,
So if
that
you
would
ever
work
had
out.
to actually jettison off the ship, it's just you open the door and just shit piles out and you can't climb in.
Like, what the hell? We can't get out of here.
Like a rat's
Like,
nest.
no, don't throw that away. I need it.
Skathos goes to like do maintenance on the engine, and there's like all kinds of like papers and things all stuck in there, and
Just been hollowed out.
it's all
Scrapped.
hollowed out. All right. So you guys were heading back to the planet, right?
Yeah, we had just landed, and all lights and stuff, and Cell was like going into a fit because she saw endless potentials of getting in control.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So she was hiding when you guys landed.
Yeah,
And then we were
we
gonna
all
start.
got out, and I hit the alarm, boop boop,
Yeah, that's right.
on the ship. I can't believe I remembered that. I have ship memory.
Yeah, I got Spice. That's where I last have a note. So
Oh, and we changed the name of the ship if nobody disagreed to Jolly Roger.
To Jolly Roger, that's perfect. That's funny.
you can put that up to a vote once everyone's here.
I don't know. Amic might not want to change the name from Amic's ship.
We'll just roll for it with sales dice.
Yeah.
The weighted dice. All right, I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be right back, and then Nick should be getting on here pretty soon.
Don't worry. We'll get up to no good.
We crashed the ship.
Can you guys hear my TV in the other room? Like the mumbling?
Vaguely.
Vaguely, okay. Because it's really loud. I'm about to yell at Dave to turn it down, but I'm also kind of lazy and don't want to get up and do that. So I'm like, eh.
Just send your cat to do it.
Yeah. But David closed the door and locked me in here. What is this? Well, good
Did y'all
news.
see the virtual tour of the ship?
Yeah, I saw that. Very nifty. It's how I imagined it. So I'm like, I'm so smart. Good news, Ryan. She's alive. She messaged me for the first time in like a week and a half, so she's still alive.
You must have went and got a drink too.
This thing is structurally unsound. There's a design that is called it. One of the three options for the bonus project is to drive the prison. Even though they have this option with all the donations that have come in, we now do that.
Lucas, you were too quick.
I'm getting my drink.
Dun, dun, dun.
Coming up with strategies.
Oh, we crashed the ship while you were gone. I don't know how.
I
But...
don't.
As long as you crash landed on the planet, that's all right.
Okay, I guess I put this stuff in the wrong spot.
What do you got?
I thought I put everything under equipment, but apparently I put my stim pack, my weighted smuggler's dice, and my gold locket under armor. So I swear I had it all under equipment, but I guess I fixed that.
I think you had to have done that last week.
Yeah,
The sheets
I didn't
were-
do it.
The inventory was kind of divided up into like weapons, utility items, and
kind of like extra. I guess they got rid of that extra space, and I guess they converted that into the armors or something. Because like my common clothes and stage equipment are under 8 armors now.
Okay, at least it's not just me.
Which is actually really weird.
Yeah.
I think that they took like the first couple slots of whatever your equipment was, and just like armor.
I ended up in the last couple slots and moved it.
So does the Jawa not have any armor?
I don't know. Apparently not. I didn't put any on.
Yeah, she's full plate mail
You
with a tower shield.
did you not set up your character with like your items?
I thought I did.
Okay, well you get leather armor as a base, so
That's good. Let's put that on there. Let me.
I mean those 2 crits would have hit anyway and almost killed you anyway, but
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
let's at least let you have 14 AC.
Let's do
Are you kidding me? She's wearing burlap. Just little beady eyes sticking out.
You can't see what's under my burlap.
Just a brown stick with beady eyes.
Yeah.
There's 2 midgets stacked on top of each other.
Those are really small.
Right?
Very
Very small.
2 gnomes. 2 gnomes stacked up.
2 gnomes stacked up walk into a bar.
I've heard it. I've heard that one. So,
There. I changed it from leather armor to burlap armor just for you.
I like it.
perfect. Kitty!
Oh, please still be in here. Okay, good, it is. Whew. I was making sure that my maps were still in here from the exodus of images from my Roll20.
So where do I put my things of serpent?
Your what?
The elemental choice
Put that under
spell?
attacks or weapons. Oh, that's confusing now because they changed that, didn't they? Let me see.
You might be able to set it up with as attacks with ammo, and then label your ammo as like key points or something.
Yeah, that might be your best. Or you can put it under your class features. And whenever you use one of those abilities, just make sure you hit your key button that you have, and it should pull a use out.
Oh, where I've got the flurry of blows, patient defense, step of the wind, all that.
Yeah.
And then do. What,
Yeah, so
one
you'd click on one of those, and then you would click on your key button, and it should pull a use off of it. Unless it adds like damage and things, and then we can put those into attack or something.
What
We'll
does
workshop
it?
it.
Well, do I put one under attack and one under? Depends on how I use it, I guess.
Yeah.
One is extend range. The other, if I extend it and then put the fire on it, then it's a different attack.
See, the problem, Ryan, is I can't give him a spellcasting class without screwing everything up.
Yeah, because the way the sheets were set up, it might have worked, but
Yeah, because you could just give them a custom spellcasting, and
yeah,
Is that still a thing? No, they don't even have that anymore. You know what? Put it under attacks, and then, so yeah, you can still do a melee attack, and then where it says ammo next to your like crit range, you would put in, just call it key, and then it should give you like, okay, how many do you use? Once you put that in there.
Well, I see melee.
Right, so you see your unarmed strike right now?
Oh, that's under. Okay, unarmored. So I need to make a whole new one.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
add-
yeah. So you would add an attack, essentially, an offense ability. Which actually, I wonder if that utility is new. How does that look? Oh, hey. Wow, it's set up for potions. Ryan, did you see that?
What?
Go to utility and hit add. It's set up for healing. For like a potion.
Let's see if this works, because this was before the sheet came. Hey, that's handy.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's kind of cool. Okay, so utility for like healing type things is pretty awesome. And I think it's only for healing, at least that's what it looks like.
yeah.
So you'd add in a new offense, Ted, and then you would put
if
in...
you don't mind, go ahead and do it for me, because
Yeah, I don't know.
I was kind of getting the last one, and now I'm like,
It's the
They
same
changed
thing, it's just the visual is different. The input is exactly the same. Alright, so we're gonna put in... this is Fangs of the Fire Snake, right?
right. One key is extend range. 2 key is extend range. Add 1d10.
Okay, Fangs of the Fire Snake. Is this going to... This is not going to have an attack. This is just a range increase. Here. This is going to be a melee weapon attack, which uses your dex mod. The reach will be 10 feet. One target, crit range 20.
I did that wrong. No, I did that right.
Okay, so I'm going to call this a ranged weapon attack. The range is going to be
I think you did that right. Yeah.
Okay. It's like, wait a
crit range is
second.
20. This is going to be key.
The word bonus in there threw me.
This is going to be 1. What's your unarmed? D4, right? D4 plus dex. Fire.
Yeah.
Damage. Hey, look at that. It's got a key thing on there.
Oh, yeah.
Per use is 1. Other... See, the only problem with this is since that thing is 2-tiered, you can't do 2 separate, like, key items. So you'd have to have a separate one for just an additional fire damage.
Well, I can't imagine I would use a ranged without the fire.
So 2 key points for the attack.
Yeah, but
Well, I mean,
question is-
it turns into fire damage. It's just the additional fire damage.
Right. My question
Extra
is, what
1d10.
would I use that third key point for?
Well, you could do Step of the Wind to give you retreat, or the dash
all
action.
those deflect missiles, like
Yeah, deflect missiles, patient defense, flurry of blows. So, like, you can still do flurry of blows plus the extended reach for 2, and just not put the extra fire damage on any of the attacks, or that kind of thing.
on deflect missiles. So most likely everything's going to be like laser weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I might not be able to catch it and throw it back at them, but I could probably.
What I'm going to say is that since you are a force sensitive monk, right? Because you're using the elements, so I'm going to say that. What you can do is the Kylo Ren blaster hold. You can take
Oh,
it
sit there and hold that damn thing.
and just redirect it. So you would just guide the bolt back around you.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I need to think about that. That's awesome.
It's because it's new. So you have that option, and then you can spend a key point to throw it back, or just catch the blaster bolt and try to use your force powers to diminish the radiation of the blaster.
Alright. Can I be as cool as Kylo Ren and just let that motherfucker sit there and hold and vibrate?
We'll have to come to that in the situation.
Requires concentration.
It's like, whoa. Just, everybody's like, why is it sitting there? What is
I
going on?
I would say that would, like, depending on your, like, circumstance. Say somebody just, there's 3 thugs kind of get you, and they sneak attack and they shoot one off, and you catch it.
Yeah.
I'd give you, like, an intimidation roll against them.
Yeah, because Kylo Ren is
To shake 'em.
clearly a monk.
Yeah.
He's clearly a monk.
Monk/barbarian.
Yeah, monk with temperament issues.
Yeah. So I would say, yeah, you could do that, and then if you want to, I would say it would be a short-term blaster bolt stop, and then that would give you the roll. But if you wanted to maintain it and just keep it in the space, it would be a concentration with unforeseen consequences if you drop concentration. Like, it could just randomly go and hit someone in the area.
Like if somebody's standing behind me and they're trying to shoot me, I could like stop it, walk around it, and release it.
Yeah, and let it hit the Jawa behind you.
What? Did I say that out loud?
I'm much
Oh my
too
God.
dexterous.
Creating dissension in the ranks, yes.
Calm down, train wreck.
Alright, so we have your key points in there. We have 3 uses. I don't know. I think it might be better to have them as attacks and not use the ammo. And then you use the attack and then you hit the key button separate.
Yeah, if you've got a key button already set up, then yeah, go.
I think it comes in automatically. I'm going to switch this back to melee. Let's remove
God, Brian,
this.
you're gonna have to lay off the crack.
Alright, so let's see here.
I think the key button's best.
The dark side.
Alright, so it's not pulling
See, oh, this is
resources.
better.
Yeah, I can do those voices just fine. But trying to talk normally, no way. We have cookies.
I'm dead. I'm coming. Oh no.
I don't know why every time I hear her say that, I'm thinking, oh, kitty!
So apparently this sheet's broken too, because it's not conducting the class feature.
Sometimes I have to go into the API and just
Refresh
recopy
it.
paste it for no known reason.
Screw that.
Yeah.
So our engineer is clearly on the dark side.
Oh, I do like that
What?
they have... Do you notice that they have the conditions underneath your skills?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
That is
Like-
very...
An exhaustion?
But we really don't want to think about that. The rest of it's pretty cool.
Hey man, this is Star Wars.
And then
You don't know
if you
what-
hover over each of them, it tells you what those conditions do.
Yeah, that's
That'll
cool.
be handy.
It does that. It does that. It's so cool. Now, I want to see what happens. So I'm going to test on Volwa. So let's say that you are... let's see. What's something that gives you disadvantage on attacks? Restrained?
Blind attack.
Blinded? Blinded. Alright, so I click blinded. Let's see what happens if I click. Did it do it?
Dang! Look at you with your nat 20.
I don't think it does it.
No. It doesn't do anything for you. What a terrible sheet. Why
Why
doesn't it automatically give you
That was
disadvantage?
the first step of it.
The attack rolls of creatures. I think that would probably be in a coming feature
Yeah.
that
First
they would
step
have
is
it
they
just
add it in.
automatically.
And then they'll do it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I
Otherwise, I'm really good when I'm blind with my dagger.
think force powers. Yeah, it's not spending. All right, so when you use an attack, just hit that key point and then change it down for me. That way you know what you got.
Let's see.
Or keep track of it on your if you know what your movement is, then you can keep track of it on your 40, your movement speed, and just change that to your key points. So when you're clicking on your character, you know how many key points you have.
Yeah.
I did homework this week. I guess I got more homework.
You got a lot of homework. Because now you got to think about your Sunday character and all the other changes that are going to happen with that character sheet.
Oh my god.
It's okay because you have 2 weeks.
Roll20 is real good about changing their character sheets up whenever we're in the middle of something big.
You know what? And I think the problem is we're not using the default character sheet.
Oh, yeah?
We're using a privately made sheet.
Well, they should make the default one better.
Well,
Then we
that's why
would've
people
chosen.
make their own. Because the default one is
And Ryan,
garbage.
Ryan, you are evil for making us kill city guards. Just saying.
You did that all on your own, buddy.
I mean, really, we should have questioned the dwarf who was in between. Like, how did he get past all those
You guys
guys in
just
the
walked
first?
through an army of dudes, pushed open an unlocked door to the next room where this banging sound's audibly happening. Saw some more guardsmen.
We really should have questioned it. Yes. Yes.
Dudes. I don't know.
Ryan, that is so evil. Oh my god.
I didn't make you do
You
it.
weren't here last campaign, but yeah, he does evil stuff all the time. It's his thing.
Give in to your feelings.
That's why my characters have no feelings anymore.
Let the hate flow through you.
I'm sure that's not helping your throat any, Ryan.
I can do it now.
He's already gone.
I mean, we're pretty much just as bad as the Inquisitors right now.
Pretty much.
So I wanted to be a hero, but I got sick, so I was forced to join the dark side.
You joined the dark side when you read the Sith texts.
It's gonna be really hard to explain to the Inquisitors when they come in, like, oh, those city guards, yeah, we murdered them, but we didn't know they were good guys, you know?
Nope. Nuh-uh.
No.
They were dead when we got here. Somebody killed them. Oh my god.
I was looting dead bodies, I had nothing to do with it.
I don't think I hit any of them, so there's no spider bites.
I mean,
Yeah,
by
proof
that,
they could have anything
guard-
else in mind.
by that logic, the guard priest didn't hit one of them either.
Nope.
I might panic and go back and start pulling my arrows out. But nope, that was not there. That's not there. That's not there.
We were framed.
It's totally not my arrow. These are somebody else's.
Jake's gonna get here just in time for my little guy to wake up and be fussy the whole time. Just you
Yeah.
watch. Just you watch. Impeccable timing. Like always. Yeah, you're a punk. Yeah, don't laugh at me.
What little fella got a cold? Maybe he needs some cold medicine.
We gotta get up really early and get on a plane in the morning, so he's gonna be
What?
really grumpy then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't forget to check them in before your flight.
Don't go
Right.
United. They'll put him up in the
No.
overhead. He won't make it.
Look at everybody's face when you get online on the plane with a baby. Just
I know.
look at all
They're
this
gonna
there.
love me. Because he can scream really loud if he feels like it. So we'll see how
yeah.
well he does.
Everybody on the plane's going to see you walk in and be like, oh.
Don't sit next to me. Don't sit next to me.
He is a pleasure and joy.
Good luck convincing them that.
They should be honored to have the privilege to see his beautiful face.
Just roll your dice. Say, I rolled a pretty good persuasion check, so it's fine.
Yeah. He has really high charisma, guys. It's totally okay.
Oh no. I don't know if I spent all of the money that I already had, but I just realized that all my gold is at 0 right now.
Oh no.
I know.
Mine's at not 0, so.
Oh. Well, maybe I just spent everything I had already.
I don't.
I thought we got
so.
more though.
Because I know I spent 50 gold. We could say I started with the Tinker's tools,
Yeah.
and then I spent like 10 gold on the Fine Familiar.
And 50 gold for the copy of the spell.
That was it.
You
That
probably
was it.
don't have
Okay.
any money.
Yep. I'm probably broke.
Didn't we just get money from something?
Yeah, he spent it.
We got
He spent
We
it.
just got the ship, huh?
Yeah,
There was no
joke's
way.
gonna be on you if we get robbed down in Nar Shaddaa. I'll have nothing to
No,
give.
you guys
From
did
the
get
Sith, we
credits,
got
but I don't think
600.
anybody split them up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
We got 600 from the Seth, and I think we got his bank account or credit card number. I'm not sure.
Or his,
No.
porn
No,
account.
you got his porn access.
Silly Gone Wild account, which is
Worth
very.
You guys told me to put it in, so I put it in,
No, so the party got 6,500 credits,
That was it. Yeah, we just
thought,
have to
yeah.
find
and that hasn't been divided yet.
Okay. I thought we had something somewhere.
Which I do believe the Mandalorian has that.
Yeah.
So we probably won't get it.
Mm-mm.
It's okay. If he just gives me like a button, I'll be happy.
All right, we'll give him a couple more minutes.
Otherwise, we're going gambling without him. Still is in the
We're
lead.
not in the. We're not. Well, I mean, you can gamble here, but that's not. Different planet.
Al doesn't know that. You said that they
yeah,
stepped off into like
yeah.
Vegas lights. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? Let me see if I have an image. I might have
Calm
an
down,
image.
train wreck.
Tell you what, son, I've got 5 galactic credits on you.
Woohoo.
Train
Don't
wreck,
tell
I
me
want
that's on
your
my work
hands in your
computer.
pockets the whole
I
time.
can fix him out when I need to, though, because I have 2 hands
No.
and I use the dice.
No,
Oh, that's on my
hands in
work
pockets.
computer.
You
No.
don't. The whole time we're here, keep your hands in your pockets. You grab your pockets. Nothing else.
I don't think I can do that.
Please,
sorry.
oh my God, please.
That's much too complicated.
Trust me, you'll steal something before we leave. I promise.
Oh,
wait.
yes, I will. Oh, yes, I will.
Just please wait.
Ooh. That's a good picture.
Oh, we get pictures, but my Skype. I gotta hang up and come back because my Skype won't let me click on any links. So
No. I'm gonna put it in game.
Oh, good. Okay,
Man.
perfect. Because my Skype is retarded. I got to work like for a minute, and then it's like, oh, I forgot. We need to break your screen, and it's like, oh, thanks, Skype. I was actually perfectly happy a second ago.
Oh, this is a huge image. Please don't break. Oh, so slow. Oh, come on.
You can do it. I think I can.
Oh, it's taking forever.
That's okay.
Okay, made it. All right. So we'll go ahead and get started, and he can join us whenever. All right. So I'm gonna move you guys over to the Nashida overmap.
Where's the "you are here" dot?
That is a really good question.
Well, that question's up to you, Amanda.
What is the
I
most
would.
shiniest spot?
You would land on the promenade, which is right here in the center.
Ooh.
And here's the image of the promenade.
I thought you said it was big.
It is. It comes in very small.
Yeah,
So
that's like Screaming Vegas. The cell is like totally
this
like,
this
oh my
portion.
God.
So as you can see, like this is the center of town, and then as you get further away from the gambling districts, they start going into slums and then into like deep dark areas that are grimy and nasty, and even further down from that is like uninhabitable
There's so many
space.
lights. Oh no, that's so exciting.
So where you see these little kind of like barges with the canopies on them, that's where your ship would come in and dock
All right.
in the main area. And then there's inner city transports, taxis to get to the different sectors.
I
On
saw
the
Blade
planet.
Runner right there.
It's a little bit Blade Runner. That's not the image I had at work, but that'll do for now. So I will scale that down for you, so that way you guys can kind of see it. So you guys
That's
are on
where we
the
were gonna go. Down there.
right.
No.
So you land on the promenade, and you are greeted by the general taxi / welcome committee. They say, "Welcome to the promenade on Nashida. If you need any information or tours or direction, we are more than welcome to help."
You're too kind. Come to your 17. Come.
No, we are not taking him.
He needs us.
TR-17 sneezes. I do believe I'm
coming.
rusting in this caustic atmosphere.
What if we die? He saves us.
Then maybe you should take more care of yourself.
Fine. TL-17, you stay. You watch the
I
ship.
will watch over the ship for you.
We'll be back.
Alright. Out of game, this is where we're dropping off the lightsaber, correct?
This
The
is where we're
lightsaber?
looking for Morrow Bison.
Right, to give
contact.
Worth we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so you
It has the
you
same
received the message from Andon saying that his agent Morrow Vision, it's Vizhen, so
Yeah.
Vision,
Morrovi.
Marobi, is waiting for you to bring some kind of goods to the table to meet with the Shadow Council.
Alright, can I retro back to get a sample of the drugs? Oh man, that's a hard decision.
Carry it with you.
Captain, I might have a suggestion, if I might. I have a droid with me, S8M1N. And I believe we could have it hold a few samples of these crystals.
You told me to hide it. It's hiding right now.
Shaman.
Adjust my pack that I have the secret, the skimmed off the top part in.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling us about that?
No, I'm just adjusting my pack very noticeably.
So, okay, so you guys knew that you needed to bring some of this to the table. So I would
Yeah.
assume that Cell has her stash, but she would also bring the other two portions, or a portion of each of the aqua and the violet, and bring it to presumably Amic, who would be the one that would most likely to be not messed with on the planet.
Alright, so I'll ask the team, do we want to offer the saber to show that we're capable of fighting?
Well, as I
Or
recall,
drugs that we-
Amic seemed quite fond of the saber himself. Perhaps we start with the crystals, and if they need something more, we can use the saber later.
And the treasure map, yes?
No, shh.
Oh.
Cell, if you
You guys are
mention-
still in your ship. You guys haven't
Cell,
left
if
out
you
yet.
mention that document, I will make sure that you are ejected from this ship the next time we go to light speed.
Oh, treasure map. Gotcha.
Yes. Forget
Do
you.
they want the locket? I have a locket.
No, Cell, less is more. Shh, shh. It's okay.
What about
It's
the
okay.
Wookie whiskey? No? I keep that. Don't worry about that. Okay.
Go ahead and
Just-
find a buyer. for
So-
that
so you-
unique set.
So, Cell would know that huts are not quite fond of small, mundane type things. So, something like
Very
a
vast gestures.
yeah. So something like a rare brand of spice or a
There's the
lightsaber
blue
would be
little
something
spice.
they would be more akin to paying attention to.
Okay. Big stuff. Big stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Because
Okay,
you would deal with huts and those kind of people back where you lived, so you would know what kind of dealings that they're into.
Okay. They like the fancy stuff. I don't see why it's useless.
Well, they have enough money to buy regular stuff, so
Just do it.
Or we
What
could
the-
sell them the location. That way
Exactly.
they wouldn't have to buy.
That's what I was thinking.
But they buy the location from us, yes?
Yes, buy the
Yes,
location
Cell.
of the spice. We show them this is what we got. We know
Oh.
where you can get it.
We
Unlimited.
don't tell them where we found it freely, Cell. Or you'll get no shinings.
Got to get the shinies. I see where we're going with this. Okay. I got the the stuff.
TR-17 needs to get maintenance. The medical fluids seem to be bubbling.
Yeah. It happens.
All right.
Okay, so you guys have your offering, the 2 portions of spice. Amic has the saber on his person or in his pack.
For enticement.
Yeah. So then you come off. You're greeted. They say we can give you a tour or a loan to go to the casino, or taxi services can be provided for you.
Always like giving the cut off sign at the neck at the casino thing.
Well, if that is not suiting your needs, we can provide other pleasures. Anything that you want can be found on the planet of Nar Shaddaa.
We'd like to go to the district of insert name here. What's his name?
The agent?
No, not the agent. The person that we're supposed to meet.
Oh, the hut. The Shadow Council.
Yes.
You guys don't have his name yet. You have to reach your Imperial contact, who will get you the information.
Did they give us the location?
No,
Or just had to wander
you'd
around?
have to get on the ground and then find her from there. Because she's kind
sir,
of
we're just
deep.
Yeah. Okay, sir, we're just gonna wander around. We're gonna take in the sights for right now, but thank you for your offer.
So you sure that he said we could get anything on this planet? We could spend a long time here. Get lost again.
So
Okay, train wreck. Calm down.
as you begin to walk along the outer pathway kind of deck area, once you go inside, it's kind of like as you can see from the picture, it's actually kind of like a 4-story reverse pyramid, kind of a funnel situation. So you got an upper balcony that has some shops. There's like a cafe up there. There's some vendors up there. It's more like the touristy thing on the upper level, and as you get deeper in, it gets more VIP in nature. Like there's less crowding the deeper down you see, because the floor you walk in has a balcony that looks down to all these levels, and as you look down, each level has its own set of stalls for selling things. There's also bank access for things. There's also more vendors. There's more. There's a level that has a dance floor and like a stage where there's just dancers going, just to kind of boost people's feelings to get them to go spend money around the other levels. And I didn't say this, but the one that welcomed you was kind of a tan skin, almost like a yellow. Think of like a high elf almost, kind of a yellow skin, right. Elongated face, kind of as exaggerated features, but in a very pleasant exaggeration. And they were wearing a almost like a valet driver vest. It's kind of like a gold sequins vest with a nice white shirt underneath and kind of slacks. And as you're walking around, you see more of those kind of valet type individuals. And some of them are carrying around like cigarette trays or drink trays, or vouchers for this thing, or they're the ones around just kind of trying to get extra credits.
All right.
Just on the floor. So those are the ones that are like the employees of the area. So as you walk in onto the second level, you see all that. Hey, Nick.
Hello.
What's up, guys? Sorry,
What's up?
I got stuck on a call.
Oh, it's all good. We just landed. The party has their offering, and they were just starting to walk into. If you're not in game yet, but you'll see a picture of what your guys are kind of walking into.
Don't worry, Trainwreck hadn't stolen anything yet. So
Not yet. Let's see. And we were just getting ready to start looking for the inside agent that is your contact to the Shadow Council.
Oh, sorry. Skype is being a bitch. Stop this.
Hey, there's Emic.
Cool. So, where are we? At a bar?
No,
Just
so
landed.
you're at the promenade. It is the central,
Oh, we're in
like, landing / valet service of this sector, where you kind of homed in on where you needed to land. So it's kind of like the entry, very sparkly part of the like a casino. When you walk in, it's like, oh, there's all the bright lights. Here's all the little vendors. Here's all the little tchotchkes, and the first kind of get you in the feeling.
Where the person we're supposed to be meeting is?
We know a name,
not yet.
We have a name.
not a location.
You have a name.
Cool. Amic's gonna say, well, the best place to go with a name is to a bartender. Let's go.
All right. So you
And that's
you
what
go
we're missing.
the muscle. So you go down a
The
couple.
mercenary.
So the mercenary, yeah, the mercenary would know where to go to get information.
Oh, do you need to know how to find somebody? Well, let's ask the Mandalorian, shall we?
So you go down a couple levels. So I was describing to them. It's like a reverse pyramid. So you come in on like the largest part, and that's where like the very kind of cheap stuff is. And as you go deeper and deeper, it gets like more VIP and more luxurious as you come down the levels.
Character sheet?
Yeah, whoever made it updated it.
I don't
Yeah.
hate it.
Yeah. It does have highlight over for spells though. That's kind of cool. Instead of having to hit the collapse button and scroll through, you can just hover over it. Right. So you go down like 2 levels where it starts to not really have a stairway down. You assume that there's like maybe another level or 2 that businesses have access to these more VIP areas. You see, when you get down to this level, this is where the stage is, and there's kind of just like a mall band kind of thing going on where there's a dance floor and people are just having fun. But in the center of this area is a giant golden hut statue. It's like 60 feet tall, like 80 feet wide. Just a huge gold statue of this hut. And this hut has a very goofy little like bell hat. It looks like the shape of a bell. And that is Zero, the hut, Ziro. He is the hut in charge of this whole district on Nar Shaddaa.
Hey, question.
Yes.
How many credits should I have?
Well, I
know
gave
we
you
made some
100,
money,
and then
right?
whatever you get from your
6,500.
background. So 100
100
plus,
is fine. I'm just gonna put 100. Okay.
and then you have the 6,500 credits that you got from the loot that has not been divided yet.
Oh, well, Amic would definitely be the one divvying things up.
That's what we figured.
First question out of my mouth was, what about the money?
Yep. So you have that
let's see,
in
2,600 divided by 4?
6,500.
65.
6,500. Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Mhm.
So that's 60.
It was that Sith Lord's life savings in order to go and get that holocron.
Okay. Well, we're at 1,600 credits each. 1,625. Everyone mark it down. Because we're going to a bar to get drinks.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not paying for you.
Pay for your damn self. So you got the giant statue, lots of lights. There's a lot of like fiber optic plants. So these large plants that are changing colors with fiber optics and
Oh,
kinda look
I'm
like
all over that.
it's shinies everywhere. But what you see on to the left of the dancing stage is there's a kind of like a velvet rope queue line to get into the like a nightclub, kind of like a VIP club on the lower level.
It's like a VIP club.
Kind of. It's
How about just a regular P club? You know, just a P club, just a person's club, not a very important person's club.
well, what I mean, it's like a VIP club. It's it's like a classier club. It's not necessarily VIP. But are you looking for like
I'm
a shady
looking
club?
for
Like
less
black
classy.
tie.
Less classy?
That's too clean. We need something a little less, more dive bar-y.
A little more dive bar. Okay, so so you would have seen that from the upper level. So you go down to like the second level, and there's like a little dive bar kind of thing. So you go in there. It's got a handful of not a handful. It's got a couple dozen goers in there, having their drinks, talking. Some of them are playing like some sabacc on a table in the corner. There's a sabacc table. There's a pizzac table on the side. Bartenders in the center. There's kind of like a U-shaped bar. Bartenders in the center, and there's drinks, so he has access to the entire room.
What's the person's name that we're looking for?
Maro Vizen. Vizen.
And man, Ryan, you sound worse than this.
Yeah, I know.
But I can do my dark side voice just
That's
fine.
And he's with like the shady underground kind of people.
It's actually an
He's
imperial
Andon's
point.
contact on Narshar, his Andon's agent, and we're basically supposed to meet with him, and he will put us in contact with the criminal underworld.
Who does he work for? Do we know?
We don't know.
Okay.
The agent?
All right.
Yeah.
It's actually an imperial agent. So it's an imperial operative that is working with this Shadow Council. So it's an imperial agent working directly for Andon, who gave you the ship.
And this Shadow Council is the Hut Council.
Yeah, it is. It's a coalition of. Well, actually, I'm gonna let you find that out once you're on planet, or once you're talking
All
to
right.
people.
All right,
Well,
group talk.
Phoenix gonna go up to the bar.
Oh, one sec. Who is sales handler?
I'll watch the small one.
Please.
I was like, what do you mean? Oh, I understand. Who's like,
Ah, yes.
like I don't
Okay.
have a handler.
So
Oh,
Amic
yes.
walks up to the
You
bar.
must.
Yeah. He just walks up to the bartender.
What can I get for you?
Whatever's cheap.
I got cheap for you. And he gets you like a Carillion ale, typical human stuff. That'll be 3 credits.
Charge it. So I'm new to this moon.
Yeah.
Yep. If a guy was looking for work, where would he go?
He kind of looks you up. He's kind of like a shorter, stockier guy. He's like maybe 5'4", little port, balding a little bit on the top. He's just kind of like an old gruff, like sailor looking dude. And he looks up at you. Depends on your type of work. If you're looking for mercenary work, or if you're looking for something a little more nefarious, it depends on what you're looking for.
Anybody that's gonna pay me to shoot things.
Mercenary work, then. Well, there's no republic on this planet, thankfully. Otherwise, I'd be out of business. Well,
Don't want to work with those goody two-shooting know-it-all sons of bitches.
ain't that the truth? And he takes a swig of a drink that he's got. He thinks, well, there's a new player in town. Seem to be gathering all kind of people up for work. What was her name? Maro, I think it was.
That's the person we're looking for.
Yeah.
the name we're looking for. Yep.
Yeah.
As the Jawa says
Where would I
across
find that?
across the bar.
It's actually funny. Amic's not stupid. Nick's just like wasn't here last week.
No, that's fine. Thankfully last week we didn't do a whole lot involving that. It was
It's
just
okay,
the
I
call.
just forgot it from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Let me check my notes real quick here. Last I heard, she was setting up a shop or doing some recruitment around the Carillion sector.
Carillion sector. All right.
Yeah, with the rest of those humans.
Well, I could fit in well with them. Cheers. He'll down his drink and walk out of the bar.
He kind of just... He doesn't really eyeball you because he's used to this kind of thing, but he's just... a Mandalorian on Nar Shaddaa, that's a little uncommon. And he goes back and grabs another terribly dirty rag and starts wiping out cups. And puts them back. He takes your cup and just kind of spits in it, wipes it out, and puts it back on the next to the other clean cups.
Respectable. He's an alien, man. I'm sure his saliva does just as good as soap.
It's like dog bacteria, dog saliva, right? 10 times.
Yeah, it's the cleanest in the galaxy.
So Amic will walk out, kind of wait for the others to follow.
I'm looking at the plant on the wall. That
Oh, you
weird
guys never went in.
psychedelic.
Okay.
Well, yeah, she was outside. What is Volwa doing? I know that you were going in.
Oh, I was trailing him. So I'm just
Okay.
like dog telling.
So we'll come back out and walk up to Skathos and sell. All right, we're going to the Carillion district sector, whatever they call it around here.
They're interchangeable.
Following you.
Amic will find a map, locate Carillion district.
Yeah, so you see that there's those like
There it
mall maps around. Yeah, it's
Yep.
on the left.
Yep.
So you see those
He'll
mall maps
locate
around
it,
and it kind of
it's
tells
kind
you
of-
you are here and here's how to get to these places.
Cool. They'll start heading that way.
All right. So you go back up to the main level, and you see another valet-looking guy with a gold sequin vest, black pants, long, flowing white dress shirt, and he says, "Will you be needing a taxi, sir?"
I believe we'll be needing transport to the Carillion sector.
That we can do. And he just presses a couple buttons on a little data pad on his arm, and a taxi swoops in from up above and parks right next to where you guys are at.
Convenient.
Climbing into that.
We are all about convenience. We are here to provide you all your pleasures.
Oh, okay.
Now, Cell, no.
Amic grabs Cell, chucks her in the galley.
Just
You guys are just, this whole planet is so much
No,
fun. There's
no.
so much fun.
all right. So you all get in. Driver says, "So you're going to the Carillion district, right?"
Yes.
All right, we'll be there in just a couple minutes. Just hang out and enjoy the sights and sounds of Nar Shaddaa. And he just kind of slowly starts taking away.
Do you know the sites around while we travel? Can you tell us about each place that we're going?
That one was Rula Shauna's on.
What?
Kind of
That,
like
that one over there
are you
is
going
Rula Shiny.
toward
Just ignore me.
No.
Everyone else
no
does.
sell, no sell, no sell. Just tell us about the history of the place along the way, kind of like a duck tour.
He wants
Well,
you to be a
that's-
damn tour guide.
Right?
Tour guide, right. Well, that's gonna cost you a little extra at the end there, but anyway, this planet is
Pay
currently
for it.
this planet is currently being ran by Zero the Hutt, and yeah, there's all the different sectors, kind of almost racial sectors, different higher percentages of aliens within their own areas, their own districts. There's the Star Cluster Casino. That's one of the major casinos on the planet, and then there's also the Club Vertica Casino. That's the High Rollers Casino. That's where all the hoity-toity types go. Let's see. Nothing else is really going on here. It does seem like some troubles are brewing, though. It seems like some of the local crime bosses are not getting along very well. I think some of them are getting influenced by the Republic a little bit.
At first glance, where would you put us?
What's that?
At first glance, where would you put us?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Well, everybody has a first opinion of somebody when they walk down the street. Where would you put us?
Wants
Oh.
first impressions.
Oh, personal impressions. Oh, jeez.
Are you looking for a date, Volwa?
Yeah, when did I become your
No.
translator?
No, where do we look shabby? Do we look
He kind of just
transient, or do we
he kind of looks you
upper
over
class?
and he said, considering where we're going, you guys are going to be middle to upper class. Let's put it this way. If you're not in the promenade or one of the casinos, or, like the Doro sector, the red light sector, it's all slums. So I think you'll be just fine. You might stand out a little bit, considering you have a snake man and a Mandalorian, but otherwise you should be fine.
Wait, you mean I'm
Sugar,
not the
I
pretty
fit
one?
right in here.
Are you wearing a helmet?
No.
Oh, helmetless. I don't know what you look like. What do you look like?
I look like my picture. I found a pretty
Oh, I'm sorry.
dashing looking man.
Brad Pitt.
Well, to be 100% honest, if I was on the other side of the fence, you'd be a prime piece of meat.
There you go. Seabowl will be fine. Prime pieces of meat.
I eat meat.
Well, you can't eat meat.
All right, understood. Thank you, sir. Proceed.
Yeah, it is what it is. So you're flying around, you're kind of darting through buildings, there's little tunnels come around, and you're starting to see less and less of those vibrant neon signs, and it's starting to turn more into like slums, like those weird like blue lights that you see in like subways, that kind of thing. Dim yellow, grimy. It's getting more and more grimy as you're coming in. And he lands you on the taxi pad for the Carillion sector. Well, for the tour, it's going to be 50 credits.
Volwa, pay the man.
Hey, the man.
That's on you. I didn't want the tour.
Seems like that Doug is being silent as he pulls out a blaster. I expect my credits.
Now, I'm sorry, muted. I've got it.
You hand over the 50 creds?
Yes.
All right. He kind of puts it back in like the center console. He's like, pleasure doing business with you. And he takes off real quick. A lot quicker than when he arrived at the promenade.
It's like, oh shit, I'm in a bad neighborhood. Get out.
You're in one of very many bad neighborhoods on this gangster planet.
I think you mean we're in a great neighborhood.
It's like upper ghetto.
Great neighborhood. All right,
It's a great
let's get
neighborhood.
Hey, we're in East Dallas. Let's go. I know it. We're good.
Oh, jeez.
So as you're coming off the taxi platform, it's kind of just like a maze of streets and turns and boarded up housing districts and shops. There's occasional ones open, and they have a little neon sign just so you can tell it from the rest of the different blue-gray steel that is lining everything. There's occasional like little womp rats or little little trash-eating creatures. There's like weird, like six-legged cats, like meowing and hissing, and you hear a cat fighting a trash can somewhere by, and it's very, very grimy, very dirty. You see occasional groups of people as well, just covered in just filth, and they've got tattered like brown shirts, very muted colors, and they look very rough, and they're kind of whispering as you guys are walking by.
Oh, this place is great. I love it here.
Yeah, she would fit right in.
Gathos would like to find like a spot kind of a little out of the way, like maybe duck into an alleyway for a moment and activate one of his holograms to make himself look a little more appropriate, more taking on like a human appearance, kind of exactly what he saw walking down the street.
Okay, just like a grimy, generic human.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see Skathos kind of slither out, find a dark place, and then out walks a grimy human. You guys should keep walking. You don't even, yeah, you're on a mission now. So you're kind of going through, and then like I said, there's like once you get past the residential / shop district, you're starting to get into some more industrial type things. So the colors go from bluish to more of like an olive green, denoting that this is the industrial sector. There's like more tans and greens, and there's actually machinery that's running. It could be for like junker type situations. It could be, people just started running up new equipment to try to make something to, maybe get out of this district into a better one. But you still see pockets of people that are either working now. As you're getting into this, there's more people working, but you're also starting to see some more people on guards that are actually armed. And they're just kind of sitting there watching as people are walking by.
Namek's gonna walk up to one of the guards. Hey, I'm looking for insert name that starts with an M here.
Morrow.
Morrow. I'm looking for
He kind of gives you a look. Kind of sticks his nose up at you and says, "What do you want with Morrow?"
To get paid by him.
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
Sure.
Holy shit.
I don't know why I rolled that with advantage.
Well, what was the first? A 9?
9.
Uh,
I am proficient in persuasion, you know.
nice. He kind of just looks at you and says, "I don't think I'm gonna let you know where she's at. Why don't you just move along?"
I was just looking for her store.
He says to you, "She doesn't have a store here."
You seem to. Well, I'm looking for her. You seem to know who I'm talking about.
Are you here for work?
Yes. Yeah, we were sent here, told to look for her. Said she was looking for people to hire.
Yes, yes.
Oh yes, we're ready for hire. We got 2 hands ready to help.
He kind of gives
Train
everyone a once over, kind of just judging everyone's expressions as they're talking, and he doesn't see anything exceptionally shifty about it. And he says, "Well, the missus is looking for she's looking for some folks to do some work. You can find her just a couple of blocks down. There's a little rundown shop with the neon sign flickering in red. You'll find her in there."
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Let's keep walking down the street.
I waved. Bye bye.
So you're just walking down the street again. It's a lot of the same. All these roads, these side streets. It's a lot of the same. There's not a whole lot of variation between district to district to district. Really, it's just the color and like the lighting situation, at least in this area. And as you go up a couple blocks and you make a little right-hand turn, there's almost like a cul-de-sac kind of situation where the street just turns into a dead-end street, and you see a little red flickering neon sign. And there's 2 guards outside the front door.
Alright, well, Amick will walk up. If they don't stop him, he'll walk in.
They'll squeeze together and say, "State your business."
Looking for Morrow. Looking for work.
Did that fool Dash send you over here?
No.
You didn't ask the guy's name, but that was the guy's name.
That's great. I didn't ask his name.
Yeah. So you could have lied. So they'll just wait right here. I'll go get the missus. And so one of them slides into the door, slides back shut. Half a minute, maybe a minute later, you see him come back out. The missus will see you now. And they'll both step aside. And the door opens and you can walk in.
You'll go in?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Yeah.
as soon as you walk in, it's kind of like a weird play on the lighting, because when the door opens, it seems very dark and dingy, but some way, maybe it's like a hollow projector or something, but as you pass about 3 feet into the doorway into the room, everything is bright and it's clean. The walls are scrubbed, the floor is scrubbed, everything's in order, there's not trash everywhere. So it definitely seems like this is a more professional venue than everything you've seen in this entire sector. And there's it's kind of almost like a lima bean shape. So you walk in to the front, and then it kind of curves around. It's almost like it's a defensible position. It's making an offset kind of thing, and then it goes straight back. And as you walk around the corner, you can see straight back that there sits a female officer, not an officer, a female agent, and she's wearing her Imperial garb, sitting behind the desk. And what you see in her features is that she has short brown stylized hair, so it's kind of a little bit shorter in the front, and then it kind of pulls back tight with kind of almost like anime style streaks in the back. And you also see that there are 2 cybernetic implants on either side of her face. They come from her jawline down into her cheeks, and they kind of look like little tubes that run down on either side. And she says, well, welcome. Oh, my voice is going now.
It's contagious.
Hi.
I was informed that you are looking for work. What kind of work are you looking for?
In a matter of speaking, pull up. Give him the note.
Boa steps forward, gives her the note. We are here to meet our contact. Is this you?
She kind of looks it over, and she recognizes the script that Andon uses for their communications, and she says, "Oh, you're the one that Master Andon spoke about. I see. Yes, you wanted to try to get an in with the Shadow Council, is that correct?"
That is correct. We would like counsel with anyone that can give us purpose.
That can be arranged. Do you have what was requested to bring to the table to show your seriousness, to be above just a common hireling like the rest that are just standing out there?
We have an offering. We would like to present it.
Okay. I can set up a call for you. That's the only way I have communication with the council at the moment. They are very secretive, and quite frankly, they are in different districts of the planet, so they're accessed by call.
Call would be fine. I believe we could make a deal.
And it's just the 4 of you?
Just the 4 of us. We can make it. Sorry.
All right.
This is our 4 representatives. We can muster more.
I certainly hope so, because I wouldn't want you to get in over your head with the cartel, or with the council. You know
Worry
the
not,
huts.
we stand quite tall.
He definitely does. She points to Amick, and says, if you'll follow me into the holo projector room, I can get you guys set up with a call right now.
Please do so.
She as she gets up, she hits a button on the desk that closes off a transparent steel screen where that offset was, just to lock in her office. And And when she does that, the second door also opens into the projector room. So you walk in, and it's actually a relatively large room, and it's functional. There's not a whole lot of extra things here. There's like a cot. There's like a couch. There's it's mainly like her living quarters when she is not sitting at her desk and doing her paperwork. So you walk in, and there's a large projector table. Projector table's got to be at least 15 feet wide by like 8 feet deep. It's a huge projector table. The one on your ship, relatively speaking, is like a 2 foot by 2 foot. So this is a huge projector table, and you would assume that it's used for like planning of incursions and things where you need a large battle map. That's the general purpose for this type of projector. She goes, if you will just stand right here, I will get the call going in just a moment. So she lines you up, and she dials in the secret access code that the cartel has been, or the council has been using, and you see 3 images pop up. You see in the center is the large hut that you saw in the promenade. He is the leader of the Shadow Council. It's that same hut with the goofy bell hat in the center. You also see a Devorian, which is the guys that kind of look like devils. They're red-skinned, short, stubby horns. And he's sitting there. Everything's in blue, so you can't really tell the colors, but you know that a Devorian would have red skin. He's sitting there in kind of like a very nice leather suit. Flared collars. Think of like a disco shirt type suit situation, but it's all in like leathers, and then the underlayer is like maybe nice linen. Very functional, but it's still like a upper class look to it. And then so that was to the left of the hut. To the right of the hut, you see a droid. Actually, a droid pops up, and it looks like an assassination droid. It's one of those long cylindrical droids with the very spindly arms. In Empire Strikes Back, it was that droid, IG-88.
Right.
So it's got the little red eyes that are on different axes, so it can swivel around and look in all the different directions around its body. And Morrow says, "Council, these are the group that I proposed to you. They have brought offering to show their commitment to your syndicate, your council, and to prove their worthiness. And I will leave the floor out to them." And she kind of bows out. I didn't. She has to introduce the council. So she introduces, this is Zero the Hutt. He is the crime lord and leader of the Shadow Council on Nar Shaddaa, and he is in charge of the casinos and the 5 city sectors. And then she points to the Devarian. This is Varko Taya, Tiyaai. He is the Chomash, the leader of the slavers, guild, the local slavers guild, the Nar Shaddaa Labor Alliance, to avoid unnecessary grief. And she then points to the droid. This is DXTX. He is the droid leader of the DX Annihilator Network, our local droid assassin group. And then she backs out.
So
All
yeah,
right.
we brought this. Clink.
Now, we'll bow forward. Hello, kind people. We wish to gain favor in order to gain business. This is what we can bring as of now. We can search for more. We can search for what you wish. But as of right now, we have spice. Let us
So
know
you-
if this.
Go on.
Yeah, let us know if this is what you can use to further business with us.
So you lay out the package, and there's a pile of aqua spice, and then there's a small pile of the violet spice, and the hut goes. So you're working in the spice trade, I see. And judging by the look of it, that's good spice. Where
We
did
can
you?
get
Oh, good.
most spice. We can get lots of spice, but we do not limit ourselves to this. We wish to branch out to all things. We need a target, and we can endure.
The Devorian Varco says, "You don't have any qualms about the slaving business, do you?" And he's looking intently at the group.
Nope.
Anybody
I
else?
wish we had. As for role playing, like, no, we do not. We wish to acquire and produce.
It provides a very valuable service for those who have the coin and the need.
The hut just laughs at that, and he says, I understand what you are saying about that. That's all we huts live for. It's coin and power. If you want to join this council, we have a relatively difficult task for you. But if you join, or if you complete this task, you would gain great favor on this planet, and equal shares of the nefarious acts going on, as well as protection from the Republic.
We don't have alliance. We just need purpose.
Don't be so quick to refuse him, Borwa. Wherever we go, protection would be much appreciated. Especially should we do continued business with these partners.
Partners, really. I only want work. I think we could do much good together.
Are you all in accord?
As long as I get paid, I'm happy.
Yes, we're in accord. We do have ties.
Very well. The droid finally speaks up and says, Maro, you know that which has been happening to the Chateau Council. Go ahead and give this group the information on the betrayer that has decided to ally himself with the Republic. And the droid cuts out the call. And Morrow turns to you and hands Valwa a data pad and says, "This is the information that I have on Yukabi. He is the local exchange leader on Nar Shaddaa. He has decided to stab the other three in the back, and they aren't taking kindly to that, and they want him eliminated and replaced."
Seems simple enough. Where might we find this Yukabi?
It does seem simpler than it is. The problem is that he has a good portion of the exchange allied with him as well, so you will have to go through some of his lieutenants and possibly put a...
To kill multiple people? Alright.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of bloodshed. But the important thing is that you would have to stop his experiments that he's been doing on his troops in order to make them more powerful than our local thugs. And if he succeeds, and with the Republic's aid, they will be the end of us.
And is Yukabi in alliance with the Republic? Or is he his own?
He is using the Republic as a way of getting out from underneath the rest of the Council. So in a way, he's on his own, but he's using the Republic as a safety net in case it doesn't work, and he would presumably call in to them.
Him?
What's that, Nick?
Are they protecting him?
They're funding his research at the moment.
Oh, funding. Okay, got it. Alright. So yes, short answer is they're kind of in bed with him.
Kind of.
They haven't decided they want to do business yet.
They want the prototypes to be delivered shortly, soon. And so if we can disrupt that, then he won't have his safety net anymore.
Alright, well, just point me in the right direction. Tell me where to shoot.
What I have is on that data pad. You're gonna have to do some snooping to find his lieutenants, as well as his laboratory.
Well, Bola, where are we going?
Alright, Mandalorian. Need to take him out. Give us a map. How do we search him out? You're good at finding people.
Wait, what's on the data pad? I haven't seen it.
There's no handout. Still, working that over. So what you do know is that he is in the Corellian. He's in this sector. He's in the Corellian sector. the Carillion sector is actually a relatively large sector, and it bleeds into the Nikto sector. The Nikto sector is actually just a smaller portion of this map on the top left. The Carillion sector is like more like 3/4 of this.
All right.
As well as going down below the promenade. So if you guys see where the Carillion sector name is, that's where the taxi came in, and you guys kind of walked up towards the Nikto sector. You assume that his work is being done closer down to the industrial sector if you go south of the promenade. In that kind of unmarked blue area around here, you assume that that's where his operation would be.
Well, easiest way to find somebody is ask. Case in point.
We need to find a way to ask without leaving a trail.
Oh, it's easy. You just ask for work. See, what we say is we didn't find anything here, and we just keep going and asking.
Okay. So,
I love that.
all right. All right, you're gonna be my Chewbacca. You be my filler. You bring it to me. We'll work it out.
Yeah, that works. All right. Well, let's get walking.
So as you guys go to leave, she opens back up that transparent steel divider wall, and she says, "Best of luck to you. Be very careful, and I expect to hear something from you within the next week." And she kind of ushers you out, and the front door closes behind you, and that's where we're gonna pick up next week.
All right.
Ryan needs some cough drops.
And probably just need sleep.
Nonsense.
Nonsense.
Nonsense. My voice is fine.
Something.
Dark side. Something. Something.
So hopefully the this little railroady portion will be done once you guys figure this out. Then it should be a little bit more open.
We can
Because,
talk about railroady. I just got to make all the decisions there.
You did, but I'm kind of trying to get you guys in so that way you have a way to get out.
Yeah, that's not on.
So.
That does not make it railroady.
It seems
Railroady is where you get us in and then keep us on and then keep us on and then keep us on. That's railroady. What you're doing is called a hook, and you have to do it like that.
I guess that is classifications.
So,
They elude me.
No, it's okay.
All right.
It's good. Like, yeah, don't think of it like railroading. I feel like Matt Colville, when he did the explanation of The Hobbit versus The Lord of the Rings, was like the greatest video ever on explaining how when it's okay to railroad and when it's not.
Yes, I did. That's one of my favorite videos from him.
It's one of my favorite episodes that he's ever done. It like has inspired me in my sandbox game to just be like, oh, I just run it like The Hobbit, just kind of let them do things and then kind of just play with it as it goes. Well, this is kind of easy.
I'm going on an adventure.
I mean, that's kind of like how I've been running my Monday game. Like last night, I did remarkably little prep, and like the whole session went off without a hitch. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun because I was just like, okay, well, I know what's the next thing that's going to happen in the story, but like if they ever get there, fuck if I know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how the one of the Pathfinder games I had, the guy he's been probably a DM for like 20 years, 25 years, something like that. But his favorite thing to do was the old almost like the original D&D style hex crawl mechanics. And he just had he had little plots in the major cities that were somewhere on the hex crawl map, and it was just like, okay, Go on an adventure. Go find something.
Yeah, it's been
If you get to a city, we'll worry about it then.
like really what I've just been running is like the world is just happening, and then it's just like, okay, what are you guys doing in this world that's happening? Like things
Yep.
happen that have nothing to do with them, and then they go ask about them, and it's like all of a sudden now they have something to do with them.
Yeah, Colville does have that also. That rule is the clock is ticking.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, you can do whatever you
totally
want,
just, like,
but
was
the
like,
world
you know
is
what,
still
Matt?
moving.
I like that. I like that style. I'm gonna jack that.
Yeah, and it almost it's almost like one of those it's almost like one of those old BioWare games where you choose like your 3 dialogue options and then they go in a different
it's like
path.
It's kind of like playing Neverwinter Nights a little bit. Yeah.
Yes.
Where it's kind of like, yeah, it's just like, yeah, I mean, this is what's going on in the woods. There's like a nymph tree over there. There's what you guys are actually doing over there. There's all sorts of other shit over here.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's that style of playing is almost like one of those choose your own adventures, but it's like, well, I want to go back to my save and figure out what's going on in the other area because we missed it.
Well, it's really interesting because it's like the way Matt kind of designed it, like as far as like designing a video game, really kind of makes a lot of sense when you think about like how you set up an adventure. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not as rigid as a video game, but you can design it like that. So you design a level or something like that, and then there's so much more that goes into it than just like in a video game, which is crazy.
Yeah, I guess it's like an open world game, like video game, right? It's like, well, you got quest hubs, and then you've got side quests and things that you can do out in the world, but the quest hubs are still living. They're still doing things.
Yeah.
Right, like
really cool.
shit's still happening back in town while you guys are out, you know,
Yeah.
which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like, but my players, I'm gonna have them go up against a coven of green hags. This is gonna be
Ooh.
fun.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, but Jim Davis from WebDM tweeted back at me, so he gave me a good movie to watch about it and some good advice, and I'm pretty stoked.
Nice.
Yeah, WebDM, great YouTube channel if you don't watch it.
Oh no, I watch it all the time.
Yeah, Jim Davis is my hero. Because him and Pruitt, what I love about those two is that we have the same exact tastes in everything. They mention something, I've seen it. Like, period. Like, weirdly enough, like, the things that I love are the things that Pruitt loves. Like, the two of us are weirdly similar. Like, weirdly similar.
Yeah. Separated at birth.
Yeah, no, like, they mention, like, Willow and stuff all the time. I love that movie with a passion. Like, they've mentioned all sorts of other stuff like Dragonlance and other stuff like that. I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then, like, I'll think something and Pruitt will say it. Love them. I love those guys.
Yeah, I need to go back. I need to watch some more. Go back and watch some of their videos.
I mean, I think my favorite one.
Calling it. I'm sorry. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Amanda.
Night, man.
Adios.
My favorite one that they did recently was their one on evil organizations and like running thieves guilds and stuff. Because like their intro for it is they do the intro for Goodfellas. So it's like, as long as I can remember, I always wanted to be a member of the Thieves Guild. It's so great.
Yeah,
I love it.
I stopped watching them a little bit back because they started just doing the class stuff. So I need to catch up on their like running the game type stuff.
Oh yeah, I love their shit. Even their class stuff is good because it's like it gives me a way to think about my players' classes differently. So it's like, because like my players, I have a couple of them that pulled the same thing that Amanda and Ben did, where they like didn't really write a backstory, and so I was like, fine, I'm making up one for you. And so it's just like, yeah, where are you from? Cool, I'll deal with it.
Yep.
And it's just like, yeah, so I've got a monk that I come up with monk shit for, and I've got my sorcerer that I come up with sorcerer shit for. Like, he just got laid last night in the campaign, but he doesn't know that that chick's working for the mob family that he owes money to, and she's gonna rat him out. It's gonna be great. His heart is literally gonna be broken, I think, though.
Beautiful.
That's what you get.
Well, I mean, I think it's funny because he's a sorcerer, so his like charisma is really high. And so what I did was I just had her hit on, And like he just responded really well to it, and I was just like, oh well, she's gonna ask him out, and he said yes, and I was like, oh well, she's gonna bite him in the ass.
I'm gonna get you.
Well, he's like, it was just funny because like his whole thing when he first made the characters, he's like, I want him to be poor, like just poor all the time. I was like, okay. So he's like in debt. He's like, yeah. I was like, all right. Well, he's in debt to this noble family, and like he was like, oh, okay, and like so he was all on board with it, and this is gonna be great when it finally like shows up because I haven't had it like been mentioned yet, but
Yeah.
like when because they're gonna go to the forest and deal with the situation between the druids and the elves and unbeknownst to them hags, and then they're gonna come back to town and it's gonna go like to the spring festival. And then it's going to be like at the spring festival is when he's going to get confronted by like these people because what happened was they had made a lot of money and then he went and spent it with like her and he uses a fake name. He goes by the name Fizzle, but like he has his actual name. And so like my idea is what I'm going to do is he had sent a letter with some money to his family and then I'm going to have them send a letter back to him and then I'm going to have her find the letter, figure out his actual name and then like totally turn him in.
That's good.
It's good. And that's just one player.
Right?
Can't imagine what Ryan has cooking for us. Jeez.
You don't know. See what I'm saying? I can do that kind of crap.
Oh, hey, Ted and you. God,
Other
why can I not remember your name right now?
Me?
Yes,
Starts with an L.
Larry. That's it. Okay, cool. All right.
Listen.
Oh man, I cannot believe I just blanked.
Just think
on
of Star Wars. George Lucas.
that. Lucas. I know. I was. Like, I don't know why I blanked on it. I was like, you know, the
That's
one
it.
with the beard in the face. So I'm thinking about retiring ye old Bickerstaff to give us a little bit of a more goal-oriented group because I'm thinking about bringing in a character that has a lofty goal of becoming king of this land to purge it of all the filth and people that have made it as terrible as it is right now.
Holy shit.
Yeah, what do you think? Would your characters be on board with somebody who's got some pretty lofty goals?
Your
Because, I mean,
character's in favor of treason.
Because like Cookie just wants to open a restaurant, Bickerstaff just wants to write his book, Phelan just wants to like gather bodies. Don't really know what Ted's long-term goals are.
Oh. I'll have to think about that.
Because like the idea I had was like Bickerstaff can essentially run the Phoenix Feather Inn, so we have somebody there that we can trust.
NPC.
Yeah, because he'd be much like his, and then Ryan could use him as like a history book almost, you know. And I just thought it'd be kind of fun to essentially be like, yeah, I'm leveling up to gain power to become king, to basically end all this like poverty and corruption and like these nobles being jackasses and stuff. He's just gonna be like a benevolent king that like takes care of the people.
Oh yeah, Yannick's world is crumbling right now. It's
Exactly,
like
and he's not the only one.
yeah, he was an orphan. He joined the guard because that's what protected him. And now everything is like falling apart, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, like no,
Like
like 'cause
being,
I was thinking about like it, I was like, okay, because like if you have like a group of people like the Requisitors in a city, you know how popular a king would be that kicked those motherfuckers out. I would be super popular. Because I can't imagine that the common people really like those guys very much.
Well, aren't the Requisitors like the executioners of the
They're the
city?
super powerful, like crazy guys. And if I become king, there's not going to be one of these like 3 separate like people defending shit. No, we're gonna have order. These things are gonna be together. Oh man, that's what. Anyways, that was my idea because I was like, oh man, like because I was like thinking, I was like, okay, so we're gonna be like level 4, level 5, and our goals are kind of weak T.
I think I could see Zeph. I mean, honestly, Zephyr's goal is pretty grand. I mean, she doesn't want to just start a restaurant. She kind of wants to run the agricultural slash, like she wants to handle like all the food, like all the produce
Hey,
and all the
if you're friends with the
livestock.
king, guess what you get to do?
Cook for the king, man.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, she's easily
Johnny?
adaptable to go
Johnny?
up or down.
Captain of the King's Guard. How's that sound?
Yeah, Yannick is
No
totally.
comment.
Yeah, Yannick is like. Let me put it this way: he's like a policeman, Republican, full right, and yet, he is a wood elf. So he is righteous. So
So
when
he's
he
a
sees the
libertarian.
hoity-toity high elf, he sees the high elf as like totally far left. So even though I'm chaotic in my thing, I might have to change it. I mean, like lawful something.
Yeah, I think you're more.
Yeah, I think being lawful and being in the guard makes a lot more sense. But alignment's really just a construct.
Yeah.
It's not that important.
I would say
can't
you'd be
lawful
more
good,
towards
lawful evil,
neutral.
it should be lawful. Just
From
Yeah.
my experience with Jonic, he seems lawful neutral.
Yeah. Because you're lawful about the order, but you're neutral about way of going about the order.
About good and evil.
Yeah.
right. So Yannick is like, he's got the set of rules. He's going to follow the rules, but he understands. I got these people around me. They are above the rules. I'm going to protect them and still try to, toe the line.
Do the right thing at the end of the day.
Right. I mean, if like Trainwreck decides to start killing people to kill for inventory, I might have a problem with that.
I think
Amazing how that.
she's made it very clear that I don't think she's specifically going out. I mean, she could, but she's kind of made it
not a
clear that she's like, I'm
murderer.
going to get your body eventually.
Yeah,
She doesn't necessarily mean she's going out to get it.
Dead bodies. What's that called? I think Leonardo da Vinci was one.
What?
A creep.
A creep.
There's actually like a nympho something or other about it, like sleeping with dead, like being attracted to dead bodies.
Necrophiliac?
There you go. That's
Love
what
of
it is.
love of dead bodies?
Yeah, she's a necrophiliac.
Oh, she totally is. There's no doubt about that.
I think she's got so many in her bag.
I'd like to think
I'm gonna
that
start
her
working
little
on it.
helpers are actually reanimated like goblins or something.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Now the question is, should I be a paladin?
It's up to you.
So
What do
right
you wanna
now,
play?
I mean, right now the only one that's doing well, I mean, if I'm not going to assume that Ben's coming back because his motivations were he's an assassin, so he's going to do things like killing people and those kind of things. I do it mostly out of self-defense. So I don't think a paladin like would be in conflict with the way that the group is currently going. unless you have a conflict
Until
with
Amanda
the
starts
necromancer.
reanimating bodies.
Yeah.
Of
Oh,
course, that. Hmm.
I don't know. I mean,
What is
necromancers,
what
man.
is
It's hard. It's hard to deal with necromancers in
for the
peaceful society.
Triforce? What is the like? What
God of
is
Death?
the policy on undead?
Well, in what regards, really?
Okay, so like for example, like Palor hates undead.
Yeah.
So like we don't have like
Traditionally,
all of those gods. We just have like 3 like traditions essentially that get followed.
Right.
Do any of the traditions smile favorably on undead?
They might not. So, like, the god of knowledge might look favorably upon those studying the undead and kind of veering, kind of like, if it's essentially like lichdom, more or less. Like, it's all about like learning what to do beyond death. But effectively, there are still parts of the world where necromantic energy is just present within the land space itself. Like, for instance, in the Gray District, the reason that was selected for the cemeteries and all the like is because that those lands are actually infused with necromantic energy, and on occasion undead have been known to rise up from that, and so that's why that's all sealed in itself, and that's why they've got orders dealing with that. And so, kind of, I suppose if you were to go out just killing people just for the sake of raising them, that would be a problem. But
Because that's
for
an
this,
evil act.
exactly. But if you're stopping all of these bad criminals and the like, who were already doing all these bad things, and in the process of sentencing them to that punishment, then their corpses are then roused to help fight you, to help fight beside you for a just cause, that's significantly less evil.
But the
Besides,
how does the general populace feel about that?
Sways, really.
So like if you walked into like a temple and we had like a undead servant with us, how would they react?
I'll probably ask your undead servant to leave.
That's what I thought. Okay, so she needs to keep the zombies to the
district,
out of the public eye kind of a thing.
Most likely. But that's also why she's got the bag of corpse storing, because it stores corpses.
So she could store her zombie or
Undead
skeletons in her bag until she needs them.
Oh my gosh. I can't get the image of Phelan being Rasputin out of my head.
Pretty much.
I mean, I'm not gonna play or suggest or sway her character, but she could eventually be the warden of the necromancer district. You know what I mean? Like, she could maintain the order of like the raising of the dead. Like, you need someone that understands that magic in order to.
I mean, see, like, I view Amanda's character as like do you guys know much about the lore of Magic the Gathering at all?
No.
Okay, well,
hazy on it.
So black, the color black, the swamp.
Yeah.
Black in Magic it doesn't represent evil. What it represents is power and ambition and selfishness and things like that. That's kind of how I picture Amanda. Like, she would respond well to like my character just because he's powerful.
Yeah, and I think she would go along with your thought process because I mean, at the end of the day, she just wants to go back and do her experience.
Well, she wants power.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, Phelan wants power in order to talk to corpses, raise corpses, do those things. Homegirl has wanted power since day one. A king could definitely be tempting for that kind of a prospect.
Yeah, and if she is guided in the right direction to not become the necromancer overlord and more of like a necrotic guardian,
We'll call her the Crypt Keeper.
Tales from the Crypt. So as long as she's not going out and doing the evil acts, like I'm gonna go kill somebody just because I need a body.
Exactly.
Like if it's in self defense, then my character has no qualms about that.
Me neither.
And I mean I wouldn't speak for you, Nick, but like if I was thinking of a paladin, that's one of those ones that you're like,
I mean, that's why I was asking about the Triforce, because like in a paladin in a traditional sense, maybe, but if we're talking about somebody who, it's a little
cleric
different
is like
in that
no
regard, 'cause
go
it's a
unless you're
different
Like-
culture.
cleric. Yeah.
So
If their souls were still confined or bound to the corpses that she was forcing to work for her, or that kind of means, that would be something different. But because they're effectively empty husks after they die, the soul leaves, it's gone. It's no
It's just
longer
magic.
that person. It's a means to an end kind of a thing.
Yeah, as soon as she starts trying to like make simulacrums and
necromancy, it's a tough one. You gotta walk this like it's
the fine line.
not a great practice for a PC. Being honest, it's one of those things that after a while it just becomes evil.
And that's what makes it great for a PC.
It is what makes it great.
Yeah.
Because like because there's only a certain point where you can do what Ryan's talking about. At a point in necromancy, you have to make literal sacrifices.
Yep, and you're choosing, do you go the evil route, or
Yep.
like the villains do, or do you keep fighting the good fight?
Well, hopefully by that time I'll be a giant dragon or something, and I'll just
Yeah.
fucking eat it.
All right, I'm gonna put this character together. Then I like this idea.
All right, I'm gonna take off, guys.
Yeah, get some
Take
rest,
care.
Ryan.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
Later, guys.
Adios.
Later.
Later.